Hello and welcome to Storytelling with Veena. How are you doing, my dear children? I hope you're doing fine and taking care of yourselves. Well, today I have a folktale for you, and that is a Marathi folktale, okay? And the name of the story is Ikki and Dukki. Ikkishwari and Dukkishwari were two sisters who lived in a village with their mother and father. Ikkishwari was known as Ikki because she had only one hair, and Dukkishwari was known as Dukki because she had two hairs. She was very proud of the two strands of hair, and her mother thought Dukki was the most beautiful girl. The father hardly had time, so nothing mattered for him. But it so happened that Ikkishwari was always bullied by her sister Dukkishwari. So one day Ikki was fed up. She thought enough is enough. I'm not going to take it anymore. So what did she do? She ran deeper and deeper into the jungle. She started running and running and running and running, and she ran away into the jungle. It was all quiet. Suddenly, she heard a voice. The voice said, "Water, water. Somebody give me water. I'm thirsty." Ikki stopped and turned around. There was nobody. Then she spotted a mehndi bush, all withered and brown and its leaf rustling. Cupping her hands together, she saw there was a stream nearby, and she got water from there and she sprinkled it over the mehndi bush once and twice and several times. The mehndi bush was very happy and said, thank you, I will remember this." Ikki walked on. She walked on and on and on, and then suddenly again she heard another voice. "Hungry, I am hungry. Please feed me," the voice said. It was a cow, all skin and bones, and the cow was tied to a dead tree. Ikki gathered some leaves and some grass and fed to the poor cow. The cow was so happy, and the cow just nodded its head. Then she undid the knot and she fed the cow, and the cow also said, "Thank you, I will remember you." By now, Ikki was tired. She was hot and dusty. She did not know what to do. Then in the distance, suddenly, she saw a mud hut with a thatched roof. And she went forward to the hut and shouted, "Hello, anybody there? Hello, anybody there?" Then she heard a voice from inside the door, and an old woman came out. "Well, my girl, I was waiting for you. I was expecting you. Come inside, my child." Ikki was amazed. What is happening? What is happening? Who is this old lady? And she says that she's expecting me? Surprised, Ikki didn't know what to do, but she quietly entered the hut, and she felt cool and comfortable inside the hut. And the lady said, Come inside and have a bath, my child. Come on, oil yourself well and wash off all the dirt from your body and use this shikakai powder. And then we will have a good lunch which I have prepared. But Ikki said, No. Then the lady says, "Don't say anything. Do as I tell you. Go and take your bath." And quietly, Ikki did as she was asked to. Then after that, as she came out, what do you think happened? As Ikki pulled off the towel from her head, long tresses of beautiful hair fell like silk over her shoulders and down her back. She looked here and there. She couldn't believe that she had the most amazing, beautiful hair. She was amazed. Such beautiful hair anybody could ever imagine. She could hardly swallow a morsel of the meal that was prepared for her. She was so happy. She just went on going, saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And the old lady laughed and said, "My dear child, run home. Run home and be happy." And Ikki was so excited. She ran and ran and ran till she reached home. And she was so excited. And she said, "You know what happened?" And she told the story to her parents. Her father nodded his head like that. And the mother was so happy. She started dancing with joy. She was so excited. At the same time, what happened, do you think? Dukki was listening. And she couldn't wait. She simply couldn't wait to rush off to the jungle. So she also started running and running and running. And she ran off to the jungle, deep and deep. She ran so swiftly. She did not hear the bush begging for water, nor did she hear the cow crying for food. She marched straight into the hut and told the old woman, "Give me my special bath just now." She in fact demanded it. And the old lady said, "Oh, yes, yes, I was expecting you. Go and take your bath." After the bath, Dukki came out. She excitedly unwrapped the towel from her head. As soon as she unwrapped the towel from her head, she started screaming and screaming and screaming. What do you think happened? The two hairs that she had fallen. Now she was bald. She didn't have a single strand of hair. And she started crying and crying. She was so disappointed and hurt, and she could hardly walk back. She just stumbled and somehow managed. As she came, she was kicked by the cow, and the mehendi bush scratched her. She somehow managed to reach home. She came and told her story, and she tried to live happily with her parents and Ikki. But what happened? She learned a lesson that one should not be unkind, one should be helpful, and one should not be a bully. So that is the lesson that she learned. And she learned that now she must live happily ever after. So that's the story, and I hope you all enjoyed the story of Ikki and Dukki. Bye children, and see you next time.